Good morning, and welcome to Morning Cereal. Okay, good morning, and welcome to Tuesday. Well, today is International Dance Day, so if you've been waiting for this for a while so you can just get out there and dance, irregardless of whether or not you have two left feet or two right feet or 1 foot of each, I don't know, but get out there, dance like no one is watching, as they say. But just so you know, a quick disclaimer there, if you're kind of a silly or maybe even a bad dancer, you should know people will be watching. They will be looking at you, and they might be pointing at you too. But you do you. All right, well, our quote today is from someone not known for his dancing, but he's known for his sense of humor. In fact, he might be one of the people that's pointing at you dancing. Either way, today's quote is about the great characteristic traits of working hard and having some humility. And it's from Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld said, quote, "Keep your head up in failure and your head down in success," end quote. Thanks, Jerry. Well, we're going to turn now to today's news, facts, and birthdays for April 29th. And we're only going to start back in 1990 today, when on this date, in a huge historical moment, wrecking cranes, they began tearing down the Berlin Wall at the Brandenburg Gate. I remember seeing that on TV, and that was just history in the making. Well, also on this date, back in 2011, and I cannot believe it was back 14 years ago now, but we all remember this because most of the world watched this. But on this date, this is when the British royal wedding happened between Prince William of Wales. He was second in line for the British throne, and he married, as we all know, his longtime girlfriend, Kate Middleton. And it was in a lavish wedding ceremony that the world watched with bated breath every moment on television. Well, lastly on this date, back in 2018, the animated TV series The Simpsons, it aired its 636th episode. And that surpassed Gunsmoke, which ran from 1955 to 1975. And now The Simpsons are the longest running scripted primetime show in the United States. We just talked about them maybe last week on Morning Cereal. Well, happy birthday to you if you have a birthday today. You share a birthday with basically everybody in Hollywood. But we're going to start in sports. Golfer Justin Thomas, he's 32 today. Actress Uma Thurman, she's 55 today. Another sportsman here, tennis great Andre Agassi. We just talked about him last week too on Morning Cereal. He's 55 today. Actress Michelle Pfeiffer, she's 67. Incredible actor Daniel Day-Lewis, he's 69 today. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld, I can't believe it, he's 71 today. And lastly, singer who always knows we're on the road again, Willie Nelson, he's 92 today. And the number one song on this date back in 1990 was Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. So first off, I had no idea that this song was a cover of Prince's original song from 1984. In fact, I just listened to it this morning when I pulled this together. However, Sinead's version became a globally iconic hit, partially to just the raw emotion that she sang the song with, and that was translated through the music video as well. I know almost all of us have seen that music video, and just the emotion that came through it. And there was emotion there because Sinead dedicated the song to the memory of her mother, who had passed away earlier. And the good news was the song was ranked by VH1 as number 10 on the greatest songs of all the 1990s. Well, we are reading through one of the greatest books that came out of the 1990s as well, and we're reading through Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And we are in Covey's second chapter, The 7 Habits, an Overview, where Covey is discussing how important and influential habits are in our lives, with habits being defined as the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. And these habits are on a maturity continuum, and they consist of growing from dependence to independence to interdependence, which also respectively grows from you taking care of me versus I can take care of myself versus we can do it together. So today we'll cover a short subchapter which is entitled Effectiveness Defined. And this isn't what I thought it was, but Covey is describing to us what his 7 habits are in this chapter and why those habits have a sense of effectiveness to them. So to begin, Covey suggests his habits of effectiveness, quote, bring the maximum long-term beneficial results possible, end quote, because they are based on principles. And speaking of the habits, Covey says, quote, They become the basis of a person's character, creating an empowering center of correct maps from which an individual can effectively solve problems, maximize opportunities, and continually learn and integrate other principles in an upward spiral of growth, end quote. And secondly, Covey believes his habits are habits of effectiveness because they, quote, are based on a paradigm of effectiveness that is in harmony with a natural law, end quote. And this is a principle that Covey calls the P-PC balance. Now, that's harder to hear, but in the book, it's P/PC balance. Now, as you read it in the book, the first P stands for production. And then the second PC stands for production capability. So it's basically saying you have to have a production and a production capability balance. And what Covey means by this is that to be most effective, we must balance our desired results. What we want to achieve, that's our production. And that must be balanced with our ability to produce those results. That's our production capability. These two must be in balance. You can't focus too much on the results and ignore the how you're going to produce those results. And likewise, you can't over-focus on how to produce the results and not focus on actually producing the results. Okay, Covey gives us a good illustration here to clear up the mud. He uses the tail of the goose that lays the golden eggs to illustrate this. Now, do you remember this tale? It's about a farmer who wakes up one day to find that his goose had laid a golden egg. And he didn't believe it at first, but then he realizes that every day the goose lays another pure golden egg. Now, the farmer becomes very wealthy over time, but over that same time period, the farmer actually starts becoming more and more greedy, and he starts becoming impatient. He doesn't want to wait on the daily golden egg. So what does he do? He kills the goose, thinking he can get all the golden eggs inside the goose at one time, only to find out there are no golden eggs inside the goose, and now he's destroyed his golden egg-laying goose. So here's the parallel to P-PC balance, production to production capability balance. The golden eggs are the production. They are what's produced or the desired results, whereas the goose is the ability to produce. It's the vehicle or the asset by which the wanted results are produced. These two must be balanced. We would not only take care of the goose and ignore the golden eggs that the goose was laying, and likewise, we wouldn't only focus on the daily golden eggs and ignore the well-being to keep the goose healthy enough that it could keep laying the eggs. So I hope that clears it up just a little bit. It definitely was a good illustration for me as I was reading the book. And Covey believes the principles his habits are based on, quote, bring the maximum long-term beneficial result possible, end quote, right? But this is only so long as we can keep our production to production capability balance intact. Well, tomorrow, Covey discusses more in depth these assets that provide the production capability, right? The gooses or the geese. I don't know. Either way, we'll finish up the subchapter with the next subchapter being 3 kinds of assets. Well, thanks for joining us today. Enjoy dancing. Really don't care if people are laughing and pointing at you. Come back tomorrow and have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Serial podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.